Nigerian Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Adeshola Amosu, has said that the military is winning the ongoing war against Boko Haram insurgents in the northeastern part of the country. Air Marshal Amosu made this known in a chat with journalists in Abuja, saying it will be difficult for Boko Haram to regroup with the ongoing military campaign.
Again, the effort and the ability to plan is not there. Again, we've been able to disrupt their training sessions. So the issue of regeneration is out of it. We're lucky again to have our neighbors. They have agreed to work with us. That has given us huge comfort, because when they cannot run away to the neighboring countries, we're sure we're going to contain them here. It will be easy to really take them down. Again, our neighbors saying that part of the effort, the terrorists, they know that they have to stay within to be able to contend with the federal government efforts.
Meanwhile, the permanent secretary of the Federal Ministry of Defense, Ismaila Aliyu, said against the backdrop of the dwindling oil revenue at the international market, government will continue to provide resources to sustain the military campaign against Boko Haram.
You see, as it is enshrined in the constitution of this country, the cardinal responsibility of government is the protection of life and property. So despite there is a challenge in our revenue, but we have to prioritize what the little that we have to make sure that this country is protected. So I'm going to take it up with the appropriation committee when I went to submit my report and make sure that they have gotten more funding.
In Abuja, Muyiwa Bamdele reporting.
Federal government has formally presented provisional licenses to the newly approved 9 private universities, making 59 private universities in the country. Minister of Education Malam Ibrahim Shekara, while presenting the licenses to the proprietors of the institutions in Abuja, said the growth of private universities in the country has created an environment for healthy competition that stimulates improvement in quality service delivery in the system.
It is clear that private universities will continue to play a critical role in improving access to university education. The establishment of more private universities is also an antidote to the proliferation of illegal universities and degree awarding mills across the country, which has become a major source of worry as it constitutes menace to quality university education. Also, cognizant of the importance of ensuring that these universities contribute meaningfully to national development through their academic activities, the proprietors have been made to navigate through arduous process and stages to ensure that their programs are relevant to national needs.
Earlier, Minister of State for Education, Professor Viola Onwedule, called on parents not to support their children in seeking admission outside the country, insisting that Nigeria has the best universities that can compete with the world standard.
And then we would like our children to start going to other countries where you don't even have quality teaching, quality education. I've had calls when I was in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to say no to some of our children who had been admitted into some universities, some of our neighboring countries, and even some other countries, out there. And I'll say, no, this is not a university you should go to. I also remember when I went to one of the countries, precisely Ukraine, I had to summon one of the vice chancellors when I heard about what they were doing with our students in that university. And when he said he wouldn't be able to get a flight, I told him, we're going to stop Nigerian children coming to your university if I don't see you.
We're also creating a pool of knowledgeable individuals. Through the NUC linkages in the expert and academics in diaspora, we encourage professors in the diaspora to come here and teach between 6 months to 1 year. Some stay and don't really go back. And recently, the NYC honorary scholarship is also working. But I'm amazed how many people with PhD degrees. Walk into my office every day and say, I'm looking for a job. I say, what? What's happening in universities? So I'm going to open a portal now. Those who have acquired a PhD degree and have no job, let them apply to us. There are vacancies in institutions.
Archbishop of Lagos Catholic Diocese, Alfred Martins, while responding on behalf of the proprietors of the newly accredited private universities, said they will maintain the quality and standard expected of them.
We are quite aware that it is our duty to bring up the young students with good character and with good learning. We are aware that we are engaging the young people at a very important part of their lives. We are aware that we are helping to mold them into citizens of this nation that will be people of integrity, people of honesty, and people that are patriotic.
It would be recalled that the Federal Executive Council on Wednesday, 25th February, approved the 9 new private universities in the country. From Abuja, LM Chukwameka report for Ben TV.
One of the recently registered political party in Nigeria, People's Democratic Movement, has declared total support for the use of permanent voters card in this month's general election. The national chairman of the party, Ibrahim Bashir, in a chat with Ben TV in Abuja, said the use of PVC will add credibility to the outcome of the election.
The entire election revolves around the PVC. The voters register, which is now about 68,800,000 and something thousand people, is all tied to the PVC. Without the PVC, the voters register will not be useful. As you recall, during the temporary voters registration, about 74 million people, about 72.something million people were registered. INEC has cleaned up that register already, has removed the double registration. All those people who thought they could register several times and then come on election day and vote several times have been removed from the register.
PDM national chairman described those who are kicking against the use of PVC as those who want to manipulate the result of the election.
Now, the people calling for the TVCs or the temporary voters card to be restored are people now who want to manipulate the system and ensure that all those people that are removed from the register who are illegally registered multiple times return and vote, and that would make the election a sham.
Cross-section of the political party and groups have been calling for the use of temporary voters card instead of the PVC in the forthcoming general election. In Abuja, Muyiwa Bamdele reporting. The presidential candidate of the Nigerian main opposition party, All Progressive Congress, General Muhammadu Buhari, has returned back to the country after a 2-week break in London. General Buhari, who left Nigeria for London on February 19, 2015, arrived in Nigeria about 5:40 a.m. Friday aboard British Airways, and he was ushered into the hand of the waiting journalists and the supporter who had kept vigil at Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport. While answering questions from journalists, General Buhari said he deliberately took some time off to rest after campaigning.
Well, I just went home for a couple of weeks to rest. That's what I did.
APC president candidate declared that he is mentally and physically fit to stand for the forthcoming election.
What's wrong for me? Go to hospital. Am I not here now? Aren't you seeing me?
Very young.
Have you seen a sick man?
In Abuja, Muyiwa Bamdele reporting.
The People's Democratic Party Presidential Campaign Organization has welcomed the All Progressive Congress presidential candidate Muhammadu Buhari back to the country after a 2-week working visit to the United Kingdom. Spokesman of PDP Presidential Campaign Organization Femi Fani-Kayode in a press conference in Abuja said the party is happy that General Buhari is back to the country, but expressed worries that he will soon return to UK due to his medical status.
We wish General Buhari well, but of course we do reserve the right to question his ability to rule this country, and also to question his state of mind, his level of dementia, and his ability to even remember things, even the name of his own party, the name of his vice presidential candidate, and so many other things. And we sincerely hope that he doesn't have to return back to the UK in a matter of days for another 2 weeks of medical attention. Thank you.
Fani-Kayode also backed the First Lady's comment on General Buhari's mental status, saying that Mrs. Patient Jonathan spoke in a courageous manner, which is the bitter truth.
We have taken the position that, look, she has every right to comment on the state of health or the state of mind or the record in public office of the former head of state, General Buhari, who, after all, intends to rule Nigeria. So everything about him becomes relevant. And of course, she's entitled to have her opinion. And we have come out in defense of her right to exercise that right, freedom of expression, and tell us what she thinks about him and his mental state. And we also happen to share the view with her that there's really something wrong with Buhari.
From Abuja, LM Chukwemeka reports for Ben TV.